Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we're Backyard Musings. I'm in Apple Valley.
And I'm in a secret, undisclosed location.
Out of the state, right?
Still in the People's Republic of California.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Okay. A distant supernova exposed elements from a star's core. The result reshapes ideas of how massive stars evolve. According to long-standing theory, stars are built in layers like onions, with each layer composed of different elements that grow heavier toward the core. That makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to me because you look at our sun, those coronal blasts, those are probably lighter than what's in the core. While this model is widely accepted, directly observing a star's deeper layers has been nearly impossible until now. The observations are presented in a new paper titled A Cosmic Formation Site of Silicon and Sulfur Revealed by a New Type of Supernova Explosion, dated September 3rd, 2024. Would you like to know more?
Wow, so about a year ago then. Okay. Astronomers using the Keck Observatory in Hawaii have collected spectroscopic data from a supernova first identified by the Zwicky Transient Facility in 2021. The event, designated SN2021YF, so I'm going to assume that that's probably for the year 2021, right?
Yeah, Supernova 2021. And
I wonder what the YF stands for.
Yeah.
Anyway, it occurred 2.2 billion light years away.
That's pretty far.
Yeah. The Keck observations revealed ionized silicon, sulfur, and argon, elements never before detected in a supernova because they are normally hidden beneath outer layers. The findings support some theoretical predictions, but the structure of exploding stars about the structure of exploding stars, but also raises new challenges.
It is well established that massive stars shed material from the outer layers. We've documented that, pictured that from our sun. We've had a probe go there and picture it as they near the point of collapse into a supernova. This process, I'm not saying our sun went supernova, I'm just saying our sun kicks off coronal mass. This process has been documented many times, and the new data confirm it again. However, SN 2021YF appears to have lost far more material than any star observed before, leading astronomers to reconsider how extreme this stripping process can be.
The findings support some theoretical predictions about the structure of exploding stars, but also raises new challenges. However, the observations also pose a challenge. Astrophysicists know that massive stars eject material before exploding as supernova. Shockwaves from the expelled matter interact with the surrounding medium, heating it and creating observable light signatures. But SN 2021YF must have ejected much more material than thought possible because it's stripped down to its core.
Massive stars have the power to fuse lighter elements into heavier elements in a process called nucleosynthesis. Without stellar nucleosynthesis, the only elements in the universe would be those created during the Big Bang. It's like shedding new skin, creating new skin cells. I mean, if you want to analogize that to our bodies. Throughout its life of fusion, a massive star burns lighter elements like hydrogen and helium in its outer shells, while in its core, it burns successively heavier elements in its deep layers. Eventually, a star ends up with an iron core. It's a wonder that iron doesn't melt. Maybe it is molten. Iron can't be burned to release more energy, so once the core is dominated by iron, fusion virtually ceases. Without the outward pressure from fusion, the star collapses in on itself and explodes as a supernova. Fascinating.
Yeah, pretty wild. Astrophysicists have observed layers of helium, carbon, and oxygen in exploding stars before, which are visible after the star has ejected its outer layer of hydrogen. By observing the silicon, sulfur, and argon, it means that this star has ejected not only its outer helium layer, but other layers as well. This likely happened in multiple episodes rather than all at once. Okay.
The silicon, sulfur, and argon in the star weren't always present. These elements were created via nucleosynthesis in the star's interior as it approached the end of its life. Is SN 2021YF a new type of supernova?
Ooh, YFJ.
What?
Is that a typo? That says YFJ.
Yeah, it does say YFJ. So I wonder if they're making a hypothesis of this.
Yeah, I wonder if that's another.
Is SN 2021 YFJ a new type of supernova defined by a powerful new process that stripped it of its outer layers? Some of the explanations the team is considering are interactions with a companion star, usually an extremely powerful stellar winds, and massive eruption that preceded the supernova explosion.
The researchers think that the most likely explanation is that this massive star simply tore itself apart, that's crazy. Stellar cores of massive stars are under intense gravitational pressure that raises their core temperatures until nuclear fusion is reignited, generating a powerful explosion. The explosion blasts away the star's outer layers. The process is repetitive, and each time it happens, more material is ejected into or until the deeper core is visible.
Supernovae are classified according to spectroscopy, and classifications are centered on hydrogen. Type 1 show helium but no hydrogen, and type 2 show hydrogen. Then there are subtypes under each of those classifications based on other spectral lines. The sequence of labeled subtypes reflects the amount of stripping in the progenitor stars.
Since there's only one example of this type, there are still many questions. As is often the case in astronomy, a larger data set will likely lead to some answers. Okay, yeah. Hope for that soon.
Kind of fascinating. And I prepared, Scott knows that I prepared these notes a couple days ago. This morning, I was watching the sunrise, and I thought, okay, the Earth's rotation creates a new sunrise as it rotates for wherever someone is placed on the Earth. There's always a sunrise going on. And then I thought, okay, so the moon rotates around the Earth, and the Earth rotates around the sun. Does the sun rotate around something? And I did some research. They rotate around the Milky Way. Our sun rotates around the Milky Way. So then I thought, the galaxy. That's the exact face I made this morning. And then I thought, well, do the galaxies rotate around something? And they don't. Galaxies are fixed, and they have gravitational forces that pull at each other, but the galaxies don't move. It's the stars in those galaxies that move. So we're going to report on that tomorrow, something fascinating that I found. We'll do a report on it. It'll follow up from this.
Sounds good.
All right, folks. We'll see you in the afternoon.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening.